Alright guys, once again, it's everyone's favorite dark and morbid holiday, Halloween. And you know what that means. Once again, it's time to talk horror anime. This time, we're diving back into Hell Teacher Nube and taking a look at the wickedly powerful demon Tamamo and how he needs to extract the perfect skull from a human head. These are sure to be some bone-chilling, skull-ripping tales. For a brief exposition on what Jigoku Sensei Nube is, check out my previous video on horror anime you've probably heard of on Jigoku Sensei Nube. So, first up is episode 6 titled, Nube Dies, The Strongest Rival, Yoko Tamamo.
Oh no!
Well, the title completely ruined this video. Well, I guess that's it guys. I want to say thank you all for watching and see you all in the... Okay, fine, I'll keep going. We initially get a scene of a dark figure known as a Yoko. He is a fox demon that wants to master the Jinka no Jutsu, or Humanization technique, and it requires the perfect human skull. After a bit, we see the hunter has finally found his prey. Nube, like always, is in the Halloween mood. Well, I guess that's one way to get the ladies, huh? Take notes, fellas. Or you could look like the typical 90s anime Shonen stereotype here. This is Tamamo. Nube's sodium levels are on the rise in this scene. The girls roast the ever-loving hell out of Nube here, and it's quite hilarious. Tamamo spots Hiroshi in Nube's class, and he has the total Bomberman eyes here. Hiroshi can be seen as one of the, I guess, main students alongside Kyoko. Oh yeah, by the way, Tamamo, if you haven't noticed already, is the demon we saw earlier. And Hiroshi said is on the line, I guess, or soon will be. Later, we see everyone during PE, and Nube's not too bad at soccer, all things considered. But damn son, Tamamo seems to one-up him again. Nube is starting to suspect something is up with this guy, especially after he uses a bit of genjutsu to get the upper hand on Nube in the soccer match. His skills impress the kid, and Hiroshi falls right into the demon's trap. Now here is the good stuff. Tamamo initiates phase 2 of his plan, finally showing how he's going to yank out the skull of a human. We see a weapon that would make even Death himself jealous. It's his weapon known as the Kubisa Sumara, or well, you read the translation. Though, I personally like Google's translation a lot more. Literally neck sashimi. That is fucking hilarious. To be honest here, this thing really does freak me out. It's basically a weaponized crane game used to pluck out human skulls. That's pretty dark. Hiroshi ultimately thinks that he's kidding around with that thing, but he ain't, trust me. Old T-Dog here reveals he is a demon here and goes for the jugular, until Nueno arrives, and being the expert exorcist that he is, already planned for this moment, he had Kyoko and Hiroshi craft a charm from a cursed cloth that they gave Tamamo, who, still guising as a subtle teacher, simply accepts. It seems to be suppressing his powerful demon energy. Okay, never mind. Using a bit more genjutsu, Tamamo eventually escapes, and Nube recalls a story of how a fox taught the people of Konoha how to generate illusions. For some reason, I got Naruto on the brain thinking about this. Nube chases him throughout the town here, and it seems like he tasted a bit too many of the snozberries. With each step of our hero's pursuit, the demon eludes Nube with more of his witchcraft, and we soon see Nube lying in a pool of blood due to him jumping in front of an oncoming truck in order to save an elderly lady that was just another hallucination. I guess the demon living inside Nube kept him alive. He soon catches up with Tamamo, and the true battle begins. Tamamo's shadow clones prove to be a little bit too much for the battered Nube, and he leaves our favorite teacher to bleed out and die miserably. Like the Hatamamba episode I reviewed in my last Nube video, this is another one of those tales of being headhunted, literally, and that's quite honestly one thing in life that is severely unnerving to me. At least in the Hatamamba episode, Katsuya knew he screwed up, but here Hiroshi drew the short straw unwillingly. I'm gonna save the manga differences for the end of the video this time. Episode 7, titled Demon's Hand vs. Flame Ring Tail, kicks things off a bit after the big fight. Tamamo and his mark are seen in a junkyard where we'll see the Jinka no Jutsu in action. He explains that Hiroshi's skull is the only one that will fit him perfectly. I guess this is suggesting 10-year-old boys and fox demons have the same bone structure? Oh yeah, Nube can lose, and he did. Sorry, kid. We now get an awesomely grim scene of the demon ripping out his current skull with that oversized spork. That was awesome. He approaches the terrorized student, readies his Kubisasu Mata, and initiates the kill. Just as he starts to complete the job, a voice in the distance distracts him. And just like that, Nube's back. Again, he's alive somehow. Round 2 between demon and demon human begins. It's still pretty one-sided and Nube gets thrashed. Putting his life on the line now, he decides he'll just have to attack and attack until the Oni no Te can land a hit on the real Tamamo. Meanwhile, realizing they're in a junkyard, Hiroshi spots a crane with a giant magnet on it that attracts the steel balls that are the illusions, as well as the Kubisasumata, and pins them to the machinery. I think it's fair to say he's, fucked here? Yep, I thought as much. Nube, with what little strength he has left, seizes the opportunity and one-shots the fox demon with the power of the Oni no Te. And now we see the typical Full House heart-to-heart moment. Holy hell, that was spooky. It looks like their troubles aren't over yet. The very next day, things seem to be back to normal. And Nube, as broken as he is, uses his condition to his advantage. You sly dog, you. Speaking of canines, he's back. Seeing as he's not after Hiroshi's skull now, he seems to have a new motive. He tells Nube that he's the only one to have defeated him and wants to know how. What exactly drives Nube's power? We eventually see Tamamo questioning Kyoko and Hiroshi on that very subject. Nube soon interjects, and holy shit, Nube was a straight up G here. He straight up says here that he wants the fair ones again because he doesn't like leaving business unfinished. Yeah, trust me everyone, you don't want smoke with this guy. The final round starts and Inuyasha, Tamamo, turns up the heat. He shows one of his signature techniques, the Iwao no Jutsu, or circular, flame tail, and he's not screwing around this time. He tries to attack the kids and Nube, being Nube, jumps in to protect them, eating the attack, with a bit of help from the Sutra of the White-Robed Goddess. Tamamo, pulling a Frieza here, kicks his power level up to 50%, then 80%, and finally, what else? Maximum power. Things start to look pretty bleak here for our MCs, but the demon power, Baki, residing inside of Nube, pulls the Super Saiyan card and ultimately trumps the monster of the week. However, it seems this is kinda what Tamamo wanted? Again, remember, he wanted to know more about Nube's secret and the power that drives him. The demon then takes off after acknowledging the power of the Oni no Te and vows to uncover its secrets before too long. Another excellent episode with more fights, ominous imagery, and the Oni no Te putting in lots of work. However, it could have used a bit more horror elements for my taste, but still pretty good nonetheless. So, like always, let's check out the manga chapters episodes 6 and 7 were based on and see some of the major differences. So episode 6 is based off of chapters 11 and 12 in Jigoku Sensei Nube. During the scene in the anime where Tamamo first approaches Hiroshi, we see Hiroshi is reading something else under his book. In the original manga, it's shown to be a copy of Weekly Shonen Jump. Honestly, I did the same thing back in school myself. The explanation of the Kubisasumata is a bit more graphic here. And lastly, it's shown that the charm the kids made was created with the help of the White-Robed Goddess. Episode 7 spans manga chapters 12 and 13 respectively. Both the anime and manga scenes here where Tamamo extracts his own skull is a bit much, but obviously they can show darker imagery in the source material. And to be quite honest here, chapters 11 through 13's anime adaptations are quite honestly 1-to-1 here. You can't complain about that. And again, if you truly want to see how dark Jigoku Sensei Nube can get, I implore you to read the original manga if you're a sicko for this kind of morbid occult shit like me. There you go, we dive right back into one of my favorite horror anime series of all time. So anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you all in the next one.